4 years, I think, since the Johnny English Strikes Again trailer 2 reaction. And then some reason YouTube decided to stop letting me live stream on my phone if I had under a certain number of subscribers. But now it seems to be okay with doing it now. But this is going to be a more personal update kind of thing regarding my series Earth Agents, which it originally started off as a Doctor Who fan film inspired by Time Agents, the fantastic Doctor Who Torchwood fan film series created by Billy Tracy and Jamie Carroll. Originally started production on that in 2013, and the first episode went on YouTube in 2015, a few months after it was originally completed. And then we started doing series from 2016 through to 18, but due to many problems, a full series hasn't emerged since 2018, and we were only able to do a couple specials in 19, including one that was filmed shortly after, around the time series 3 was wrapping up and before it came out, and to serve as a New Year special, and then an episode that was due to be originally planned to be the start of series 4, and then later became its own thing, and then a bonus episode for Christmas. So we got 3 out that year. And then but there was a couple of problems that caused there to be a series not to be that year. And then 2020 happened, and fucking COVID, not to mention availability between people became much harder not just due to the pandemic, but life reasons like work or other commitments. And that's why the only episode that came out that year was Search for the Key to Shard. In fact, for a longest time, I didn't even think I'd get one out that year. But thanks to uni, I was able to get one out. Again, had a fantastic bunch of people helping me with that one. And then 2021, we were going to try and get at least 2 out that year, but it ended up just being the one. And it was supposed to be a summer special, but it ended up being the Christmas one. And then there was about a 5-month gap between filming some scenes because I was mainly focusing on my new job at the time. And then, thankfully, after finishing that, I started work on I was hoping to be a New Year special to follow that, but it was too long and too big to be New Year. Okay, and we couldn't get all of it done by the end, so end of the year. So okay, save it sometime later in 2022, and that is, of course, A Christmas Carol for Ebenezer Scrooge, which got a trailer at the end of a lockdown, the last episode, which was last year's episode. But that's been filming for across 14 months since late November 2021, after we finished the lockdown stuff, the episodes. But there's been chunks of the year where I haven't been committing to it because of previous job and then new job as well, over the year, and other people's availability as such, to the point where there's been so much pushed back to the last couple of months, and again due to availability as well as casting itself. Casting was a bit of a hassle for some certain characters who you guys wouldn't have seen it because I've only put the one trailer out. And that's one reason why I haven't put another trailer out, is because I was trying to get some of those scenes filmed first, and I was coming up to it'd be a time soon where I'll be sorting the trailer out. Most of it is done, actually. Most of it's filmed and edited, and in fact there's only really some scenes that just have to be finished and some scenes that might need some new takes to be added, and just some music and stuff, and then it would be done, and there'd be a trailer out as well soon. Thing is, I wanted this out, if not by the 25th December, then at least by the 31st, because then a 2022 episode as promised, and then I'd hit one a year at minimum. Unfortunately, recently, certain availabilities for myself and other people involved in this project that we still need to be involved in the last few bits that are key important moments in the episode, as well as a few retakes and pickups, which I'm okay with leaving if I don't need to worry too much about those. But although I prefer to do those to make them a little bit better if I can. But there are some moments that we need to finish that it looks like might not be possible not only in the restricted time frame. I know it's only the 8th of December and we've got until Christmas or the end of the year. There's still just over half a month, almost a whole month, but thing is, there's like very few limited days that any of us could even do it, let alone any. There was one day that we looked like all of us could do it, and then that's been taken away now, unless there's been some sort of change of. There's going to be another change of plan later down the line, and it looks like we're going to have to compromise in some form, but it looks like it's possible that A Christmas Carol for Ebenezer Scrooge will not air in 2022. At the very best, we might just about make a December 25 to December 31 release date. It wouldn't go out any sooner, even if it was done on time. It would be Christmas Day or between then and New Year's Eve. It would not be New Year's Day if we were aiming for 2022. Unfortunately, it looks like it might have to be 2023, if even at all. I'm actually very seriously considering scrapping the project because it's been such a big hassle recently, especially the last few months where we've been trying to get certain days, but either the plan changes, availability is non-existent, or in some cases, some people have been unwell, which is definitely not not a fault on their part. I blame the germs, the viruses, and so forth for making them people unwell. More specifically, one person, although I've also been unwell recently. So yeah, it's not been great. The production of this series, we've had some fun times, but the actual being able to organize it's been a massive hassle, especially more recent ones. And I'm now at this point where you've got these last few bits left, but they need to be done. And I did think about maybe splitting the episode into half, and maybe doing what was left to be done. Maybe then that bit can come later, and then we can get what's out first. Thing is, what's mostly been done is what would be the second half. The second half is pretty much it's the first half that's unfinished. That makes it even worse because I can't even release what's been done because in terms of what's been done is the first quarter and the second half, apart from maybe some pickup and retakes. It's mainly like as the second quarter. It's about 8 scenes plus a Christmas montage. I also have thought about adding a post credits, which I haven't done yet. So if I am to do that, I will get around to that. And I'll do it just in case. But it's what would be scenes 3 and 4 that are unfinished, especially 3. Most of 4's done, but it's mostly 3, and it's just been very difficult trying to get these bits done, and I wanted this out for 2022. I promised 2022 in the trailer. I wanted to keep my yearly track record, and with this project, it has been taken 13 and a bit months to make already. It should be done sooner or later, but and there was what's really hit the nail in the coffin for me so far is that we did have that one extra day where we could all get together, and even now that's been scrapped because one of the others are going to be needed for work that day. Might be needed, and if not, then I would only be able to do scenes with the other person, which would be great because then they are unavailable every other day. So yeah, and if that all goes up, then it's cancelled. I'm just holding out that we can finish this by the end of the year at the very latest, because I think this has actually been a pretty great episode. It's one of my stronger ones. Some technical points aside, and yeah, it could be better and so forth. My camera's not the best with sound recording, and so there's some bits, especially in the 6th scene, where there's been a lot of trying to block out the sound, but Premiere Pro is not the best at doing that, because it just makes everything just a bit, when you try to put noise reverb, then it's just tries to make it quieter and doesn't really help that much. But yeah, but I can deal with that. It's not actually being able to get this stuff done seems to be the problem, and I'm just very, very close to not only scrapping this project, but as you may have seen in the title of this video, I'm actually kind of considering scrapping the series altogether. Next year, I was planning that there would be a full series. It was going to be a different plan to what was going to be the full series. I was planning to save that for series 5, and it was an idea based on a idea pitched to me by my good friend Ollie Everett, former Universal's member. Go check him out. He's part of Too Many Doctor Who's Pope Zybon Productions, and he pitched me a series 3 story plot, which I already had a series 3 idea in mind anyway. But I said I would hold on to the idea. I'm planning it for series 4. He was even he was offering to write it, which is why the series didn't materialize in 2019, because he wasn't able to actually do that due to other commitments. So, yeah, but the idea is sticking. It's been molded and developed and played around a lot in my head. I've even written a bit of it. And I have so much I wanted to do for that series. It may be super ambitious, but I could probably maybe cut down to what the basic needs to what I'd be able to do with it. But especially if it goes back to closer to what Ollie Everett pitched. But yeah, that was the plan to be series 5 after it was originally series 4, but then pushed back to series 5 because I want to do something for the Doctor Who 60th anniversary next year. So this 4th series would be more all about that. And I wanted it to be a series because I want to go back to being a series, not just a special a year. I want to actually see if I can get at least 2 episodes out a year, and the first 2 of the series, and also the third episode in 2024, as the plan was November 23rd, December 25th, and January 1st for that series. But I'm very seriously considering just scrapping Earth Agents now, because I don't even know if I can get Scrooge out before the end of the year, or early 2000. Might make early 2023. January, there's probably a lot more availability between us all, but it's supposed to be out in 2022. And yeah, and there's not enough time to make a replacement episode in the meantime. There's not I don't have as much time to make an Agents on New Year or Attack of the Grinch like I could in 2018 and 19. In Agents on New Year's case, it was made in December 18 for the January 1st release the next year. But yeah, I don't have as much time to make a replacement episode for Scrooge for this year and then delay that one. The closest would be a short, maybe something along the lines of an episode similar to series 1, which is 2 of those episodes are the worst 2 in my opinion, and the 3rd is the 4th worst in my opinion. I think those are some of my weakest episodes, both storytelling wise and production wise. There's a reason why Jacob C. Rose requested a omnibus version of the story, the 3-part story, and I obliged, and I do agree it would have worked better as a 1-part 22-minute episode than what we got. But I don't really have as much time to do, not even that. I think that would be the closest we could get in the time availability, especially as we are going to try and press on with Scrooge. But I'm seriously considering scrapping that, and there wouldn't be enough time for a replacement, not even an audio, maybe an audio, but even that's not looking that likely, depending on when we do that. Because availability has been difficult, and actually being able to do this has been difficult over the last couple of days. We've had, well, not actually doing it per se, but trying to sort it all out, and it's just come to the point where I've given up. If this wasn't specifically 2022, if it's like 50 Slices of Bonding, Ollie Pajak's, who's in this project, his Bonding film, if it was more of a general kind of thing, then maybe I wouldn't be panicking as much. But it's actually more like his Christmas Bonding, where it's got to be for Christmas. It's got to be done. And I wish I'd done more earlier in the year I actually did. I wish I'd managed to get in contact with some people about it sooner so that we could sort something out. But it is what it is. But there was that one day, that one beautiful day, at least I hope it would have been nice, where we could have gotten all of us together for the last stuff we needed, or some of the last stuff we needed, and then one more day for another couple of last stuff. But it's just gonna be I don't know. We'll see. Christmas Carol for Ebenezer Scrooge could still make end of 2022 or even early 2023 if I feel like I can just release it in 2023. But I am very seriously considering scrapping the episode, as I said, and because of that, and because of all the problems we've had with it, and all the problems I've had with this series since episode 12, which is the Agents on New one. Not so much the Crocodile one, because that just turned out to be an extra one anyway. But yeah, there's since 2019, this series has become a massive, well, not so much pain, but it's been very difficult to actually make the series. So much as I mentioned, I wanted to do series 4 and so forth, but we only got to do specials, and then even specials became hard to do. Like, come to the point where it's maybe even having a gap year by the looks of it, and that's not due to just taking a break. We were literally in production throughout most of the year, or parts of the year, and maybe I did take a bit of a break throughout part of it, but it's just now that I have this scary feeling that it's not going to come out this year. Then I'm honestly considering not only just scrapping the episode, but scrapping the series. Maybe make series 4 and then end it, possibly with the Scrooge as well. And maybe Scrooge, maybe make that, or some sort of supplement, make series 4 and then wrap it up. 2024, it just ends, and that's a 8 and a bit year streak from originally the first one came out in September 2015, but then re-uploaded in October with a few edits. So a roughly 8 and a bit year run. Which is a shame because I was hoping to do a 10th anniversary special in 2025, or at the very least 2023 for the start of production. And I did consider doing special editions of every episode, some brand new scenes, updated stuff, make it look a bit better, uniform it so they all have the title sequence, and also recently, starting from Knockdown, the James Bond gun barrels. That one uses music from License to Kill, by the way, because that one was episode 16. The next one, Scrooge, would have been episode 17, so that would have used Golden Eyes. So the first 15 special editions would be Doctor No 2 Living Daylights, and then if we went past 25, we'll just start again. But yeah, I wanted to do special editions, especially for the first movie, and also to try and get rid of that stupid green flashing stuff in Search for Key to Sharda, which I think, it wasn't for that would be the best one. My personal favorite one is still Confrontation from 2018. But if it wasn't for the flashing, the bloody green flashing, Sharda would have been my favorite. Number 15. I think that is definitely the best one production-wise, at least. Might have been better if we didn't have those bloody masks, but, fucking COVID. I wasn't going to swear strongly on this thing, but COVID deserves it. So yeah, that's where we're up to, folks. Excuse me. That's where we're up to. So Scrooge has had a turbulent production, and it's looking like we might not finish it in time for the end of 2022. And I'm honestly thinking about scrapping it if it doesn't make 2022 release. Maybe I'll change my mind and release it in early 2023. But I feel incredibly bad either way that I wouldn't have anything in 2022 when I was supposed to, and I would let everybody down. Not only because I wouldn't have one in 2022, but I literally promised it at the end of the lockdown episode, I made a trailer and everything, thinking that it would even come out in the first half of the year. No, the first quarter, maybe even the first third. But yeah, as it turned, my good friend Tom LG suggested it should be a Christmas special, and it kind of ended up becoming that later on down the line. But now I don't even know if it'll even make Christmas. It might not even make New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, if it does go into next year. And that's why I'm deflated. I'm kind of fed up with all this problems with this episode and the problems with the series. And that's why I'm considering just scrapping the series, not only the episode but the series as a whole. Maybe make this in series 4 if I do feel like it, and then maybe it'll just come to an end. So Ollie Everett's planned series probably may not if unless I do feel like I can carry on after series 4, then series 5 would be next, and that would be the Ollie Everett pitched series. But if I feel like I'm wrapping it, I'm just going to wrap it up with series 4, and just with a solid 20 episodes, which would include Scrooge if I decide to make it, or finish it if I can finish it and decide to release it, or a replacement episode. Actually, I probably would release Scrooge, but it'd probably be a lot later than planned if it doesn't get finished on time. So, but I am very considering just wrapping it up with series 4, 20 episodes, and just that's it. Which means a lot of the Tofo stuff might have to be quickly wrapped up in series 4, as opposed to the planned series 5, where it would have come back to play a bit more of a major part, and a potential series 6 after that, or some of the further episodes. I was hoping to try and get to about 25, 26 total, depending on what happened. And yeah, there was even a point where there was even the possibility of series 5 being up to 6 episodes as opposed to the usual 3, because of the ideas I was planning. But quite a lot of those are quite ambitious, so it might just be the usual 3, maybe 4, as a push if it's a lengthy story. But yeah, I had so many ideas. It's probably not going to be feasibly possible. If this is the problem I'm having with a simple one with Scrooge, then a super ambitious one planned for 2024-25 is going to be near impossible to make. I don't know how they did it with Time Agent Series 3, because that one was equally ambitious, and that one was fantastic and came out in 2011-12. So yeah, if it was me back in 2018, even 19, maybe even depending on if the same issues arised, then maybe. But 2022 it's been the worst year for agents in terms of release wise, because of the possibility of it not even getting one. I think the worst year for production was 2020, because we did anything for most of the year. And whilst this year's been mostly progressive, but I don't know if we'll even. I'm hoping we'll get it out by the end of this year, but there's the possibility that it just won't, and it might be next year, if even at all. And the series could end after New Year's Day 2024, and that's if we get that series out on time as well. It's just been so difficult and just so problematic. If we can get past that, and if I do have the enthusiasm to carry on, we might get series 5. It might just not be as ambitious as I thought it is. I just might slim it down to the basics of what I need to do with that. And then maybe that might be the wrap up. That might be what we need to end the series, or maybe some specials after that, / around that. But yeah, that was the hopes, that was the plan. But ultimately, it's just come to I'm just very close to just stopping, because I had so many ideas. I just had so much I wanted to do. But if we're just going to keep running into problems, then maybe it might not be worth it. I don't know. I'm gonna try and finish this one, and I'm gonna do series 4, and we'll see how that goes. We'll try and see if we can get out at least 20 episodes done and dusted. Maybe some special editions as well later down the line, or along the way. But yeah, the future of Earth Agents is not looking great at the moment. If maybe if we get Scrooge finished on time, I'll be more enthusiastic and more eager to do post Series 4 stuff. But otherwise, Series 4 could possibly be the last couple of episodes. If they get those ones done on time. But yeah, I'm holding out for that Christmas miracle that a Christmas Carol for Ebenezer and Scrooge will be done by, if not December 25, at the latest December 31, and then we can score ourselves a 2022 episode, and then we can start focusing on Series 4 for an autumn 2023. Did I say 2020? Yeah. Yeah, I said Series 4 for 2023. Sorry, I thought I said 2020, 2024. Series 4 for 2023, aiming for November 23rd for the Doctor Who 60th anniversary for the first episode, and then the other two for Christmas and then New Year 23 to 24. And then if 2019, if 2024 was going to be a problematic year for the series, then we got an episode out already, so we've got that ticked off already. But 24, I'm hoping there'll be more than one episode. I'm hoping for that for next year. But yeah, that's the update with A Christmas Carol for Ebenezer Scrooge and Earth Agents as a whole. I'm close to considering cancelling this episode. I'm close to considering cancelling the series, or at the very least, thinking about having this episode out late and then the last 3 next year and early 24, and then scrapping the series after that. Just wrap it all up there. I guess I'll have to include Topher into Series 4 in some way, at least, even if the series is going on beyond Series 5, because we do need to go back to discussing what they're about. I've set that up. I did have plans for that, to do more of that. It's just whether we will actually be able to is the thing. So yeah, not really much more to add. I'd just like to say a massive thank you to everybody who took part in A Christmas Carol for Ebenezer Scrooge so far, as well as what's left to go with it. So a major shout out to Mr. Ollie Pajak for not only playing Ebenezer Scrooge, but also being a major supporting part in the making of the episode / movie, depending on what it turns out to be. Thank you to the rest of the cast, which I can confirm from the trailer was Matt Burns, as well as me and Ollie P. I think that was the only other person in the trailer who, besides us, who was in it. There's Ollie Newton from the Bonding series. They're both from the Bonding series. My sister Neve is going to be back as Agent Neve, which is great, and some other characters. Ollie's sister Abby is going to be in it. She's playing Fan. We've got Danny Middleton Evans, who was in not only 50 Slices of Bonding, but also in my Effects of Wood film, as well as the Lost Ones, which we did at school, and his girlfriend Luna Austin. And yeah, I'd just like to thank all of them for taking part in the project so far. And I'm very sorry if something does happen to this, if it doesn't get released, or if it does get released but it's late. I'm very sorry for all the problems with this, with what's been going on with it. And I also want to add a massive shout out to everybody who's taken part in Earth Agents over the last couple of years. It will be quite a long list to name every single person, and that's if I can remember them off the top of my head. But there are some very notable people I can say. Massive thanks to, as well as Ollie Pajak and the rest of the cast, as previously just mentioned, for Scrooge. Other massive thank yous go to Matt Moyer, who was General Presence, and Tom LG, who was a massive help with Sharda, Kudawasha Timber, massive help there, and Crocodile, fellow uni friends Fred White, Jude Heffer, Dory Suji, and Michaela Savoca for the Sharda one, Jacob C. Rose, Phoenix Smith, Billy Howe, Blair Harrison, Oliver Guy, who appeared in a couple of episodes over the years. Trying to remember who else may have been in a couple of episodes. David Tennant, technically, was in an episode. If I missed any of you guys out who have been in the episodes over the last, what is it, 2015 to 15 to 22, so 7 years? Over the last 7 years, everybody who was in the first film, all the minor cameos and stuff in that one. Yeah, I think that is pretty much... Oh, Connor Chadwick, he played a minor character in Series 3. I think that is everybody now, off the top of my head for this one. If I have missed anybody out, please let me know down below, either from actually taking part in it yourself, or if you've just seen the cast list. But yeah, it's been a roller coaster of a ride with this series, ups and downs and all around. We got most of our stuff done in the first 4 years, 2015 to start of 19, and then it's kind of just started to dribble and it fizzle away due to production difficulties or other problems, technical issues on my end, script not being ready, and then the fucking pandemic, not helpful, and then availabilities, personal life, and so forth, and it's just been so difficult. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I am very strongly considering either scrapping this episode, or it's going to be delayed, and I'd be very bad about it either way, and very close to considering scrapping the series after Series 4, but we'd have an even 20 episodes, and I would try and wrap up the whole Tofo stuff in Series 4 if it was going to be the last series, or the last episodes. Maybe might go to a 10th anniversary special in 2025 if we could, but otherwise it would end with episode 20. So yeah, I guess that's it. I suppose, apart from all the thank yous and all the thank yous for involvement and everybody who's tuned in and watched and supported this series and so forth, and also additional thanks to the Universals for just being you guys. Can't praise you guys enough, even the ones who do a couple of silly mistakes now and again or getting on each other's nerves, but at the end of the day, we're all Universals. So yeah, massive shout out to you guys, of course, and my fellow subscribers on this channel and the other channels of mine, as well as Hoons and Tunes. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If a trailer does drop for this episode, then that means it's coming. It will be coming for late 2022, or at the worst, January, early February 2023. So if there's a trailer on its way, then that means it's coming. But otherwise, it's in a bit of a pickle at the moment. So hopefully we'll be able to sort something out, and hopefully we'll be able to get this production finished, even if there's a few minor things that could be tweaked, and who knows, maybe a special edition will come out with the tweak stuff and a few bonus stuff. But that's only if we can get this first version done and dusted and out in the first place, because otherwise there may not even be a special edition for this thing to even have. It might not even get a first edition if I don't feel like it. I would love to get it out to you guys at some point, but it's just finishing it, and I really wanted it out for 2022. Didn't even get special edition out this year, so that makes it even worse. Well, like I said, if there's a trailer out for it and it says it's going to come out in 2022, then that's the good news. Okay, so yeah, that'll be the sign of good news for this episode, and who knows, maybe it might even be a sign of good news for the series going ahead. If this one can get finished, maybe my hope and enthusiasm can be reignited to carry on post Series 4. I'm definitely going to do Series 4. That's a promise. And Ollie Everett, if I do carry on beyond Series 4, Series 5 is going to be that series pitch you pitched to me back in early 2018. That's also a promise. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I do want to get to that Series 5 because that was a fantastic idea. Loved that idea from Ollie Everett. I'm not going to talk much about that because if we do make it, it will be a ruddy, great series, even if it's down to the basic levels that we've had so far, because it's a ruddy, good idea. So yeah, but we'll just have to see how this one turns out first and how I feel about post Series 4 or even Series 4 as a whole. But I definitely want to do that series. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Sorry it's been a bit too long. And yeah, that's it from me. Thank you. And thank you for watching the first live stream I've done in the last couple of years. Might have to do a few more of these in the future, as opposed to just film reaction something. Right, so with that out of the way, thank you very much for watching, and also comment down below your opinions about the Scrooge film / episode and what you think of the series so far. And if are you looking forward to Series 4, and would you like me to continue beyond Series 4? Because if you guys are up for seeing more, maybe I will be able to, maybe I will feel the enthusiasm and the confidence to carry on beyond 20 episodes, so that you guys get to see it. And if you guys don't mind, there's the Ebenezer one coming out late. So just comment down below you guys' thoughts and opinions, and just let me know whether you want the series to carry on a bit longer than just 20 episodes. If we can try and make 24, 25, 26, maybe, give or take, at least just a few more beyond next year. So yeah, at least until the 10th anniversary. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.